Good morning, everyone. Or should I say bonjour, bienvenue, mesdames et messieurs. We're on the Quebec Countryside map this morning, or rather a slightly modded version of the Quebec Countryside map that I've been messing around with. And I thought I would take some time to do something a little bit different from what I normally do, which is your basic Let's Play, start on new farmer mode, etc., etc. I did an experiment a while back, and I wanted to see how much, if I traded everything in, how much could I get for it, and what could I build for it. So what I decided that I wanted to do was I wanted to try a farm manager start on this map, and I want to kind of mod the map as we go through it. So I've already gone in and I've taken off cotton, and I've taken off sugarcane, and I've taken off olives, because for this location, those aren't crops that happen in a natural setting. There might be somebody growing them in their basement, but out in the wild, you don't see it. So here we are, we've got $1.5 million, and we've got our farms to choose from. And I've been up and down the road a couple of times. I'm not going to start with the new farmer farm. I've played with that. It's a little bit tight for what I'm thinking of. I've been going back and forth between these two locations here. The one with the White Farm cow barn, and this one over here that's set up more as a contractor type row crop farm. And what I've decided that we're going to do is we are going to pick up the property here, the one with the White Farm barn. We don't have a house. For some reason, when we hopped into farm manager mode, the house didn't spawn. But that's okay, we can fix that. So we're going to pick up this property. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to start by buying the base farm here, and we're going to buy this big field back here full of corn, because we're going to make corn silage. So let's do that first. So we're here in our PDA, and we'll look at farmland. You can see that over here, this gets us that shop and the land where the house would be. So we're going to buy this. Yep. And we're going to buy this great big pile of corn here. Yes. And that brings us down to $967,000. And what that got us was the White Farm cow barn, a couple of silos, the Unia bin, and the service garage over here. And the pad where hopefully we can put a house. What's this? We've got a couple of bins around the back here. And we've got our slurry pit and slurry pit extension. And we've got a whole whack o' corn. Plus, the most important thing is we've got a little bit of room to move. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tear everything down. We're going to tear it down completely. And the reason I want to tear everything down completely is I want to try out, well, the first thing is this barn doesn't have a pasture attached to it. And for me, I like having a barn that has the cows in a pasture able to walk around. I like the hayloft storage up above, but that's not enough of a cell for me to keep it. Oh, and there is a power washer down there. I don't know if that comes with the barn or not. But anyway, let's hop into our build mode and see what we've got. So we're going to sell the big garage. We're going to sell the big garage. Okay, and that cleared up some space, and our new cow barn may go in right here. Gonna sell the Pharma 250, yeah. Sell the hopper bin. Smell, yeah. We're going to sell the small silo. Sell the cow shed. That's all we got for it? I thought we would have gotten more. We're going to sell that. We'll get another one put in here. Yeah, and we'll get rid of that. Get rid of this. We're going to replace the Karma 16 with probably a fieldwork fill station from Josh. And we're going to sell this bin here. Sell that. And we're going to sell that. Okay, so I'm going to take a second here, and we're going to hop into our landscaping. And we're just going to clean up a few things around here. We're going to clean up where these were sitting, because one of the things that we do need if we're going to have cows is grass. Remember, all cows eat grass. And if you're a bass player, or anyone who plays in the bass clef, you'll know what that means. We'll just cut this in with our grass. Oh, and remind me, on the next run through here, before we start doing anything, is to take precision farming off if we're going to mess with the shape of the fields, because that can cause issues down the road. Basically what'll happen is you'll try to delete part of a field, and precision farming will think it's still part of a field, and you'll get dinged on your environmental score. I don't know of a way to work around it other than to take precision farming off before you start messing around with that. Okay, and we're going to paint in this. Maybe? We'll paint in this. Actually, you know what? We're going to leave this road here because that belongs to the neighbor, and we're just going to wholesale paint this in. Leave a little bit at the edge of the field boundary. And we're going to grass this in with meadow. And be careful not to get any under the road. Spin around. Make that smaller, and we're just going to come right in here and catch that. All right. And then we bring our meadow grass back in here. We're going to cut in with the small brush around the edge to give us a little bit of room to work. Now let's see, we're going to get our small brush going again. Come right up to the edge. And the cat says hello. Back to plants, and be just like with Photoshop. Okay, that brings us in, so now we can bump up our brush size. I am, you'll notice that the money's not going down as I do this. I'm using the free landscaping mod and the landscape anywhere mod. I'm a City Skylines player that is used to playing with infinite money, so I believe landscaping should be free, especially when you're trying to do something creative. Like if you want to do the hardcore blah blah blah, that's your game. Play your game how you want to play it. I want to play it like this. Come in tight to the field, and we're going to bring this back. Yeah, so now to start with, like I say, we're not going to change the shape of our cornfield. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to hop into easy dev controls. While I think of it, we're going to hop into easy dev controls and we're going to turn time off. So that when we start, we start. So back in here, back into plants, back into that. Okay, so we can make our brush a little bit bigger. We'll have to be careful when we get up around the road because we don't want grass coming through the road. Oh, I missed a spot with the grass texture. There we go. Plants again. And the other reason for this is the animal grazing add-on mod. I tested it down the road on a setup similar to this in New Farmer mode, and it does work. I'm never sure if the thing is working on any particular map, so I decided to do a little bit of field testing first. And I was able to have the cows eating out of a pasture that was all meadow grass. So hopefully when we put in our new cow barn, we'll be able to do that. Bring that right up here. There we go. So this map has only been out for a few weeks now. So this map has only been out for a few weeks now, and I've been spending a bit of time with it. I'm actually on vacation right now, so I've been spending a lot of time playing Farm Sim. And I've been spending some time on this map specifically because I like the field boundaries and how accurate they are to the location. And if you want, I'll show you on a big, well, you've seen it on the PDA. They're long, narrow fields, and they run back from the road back into the wilds of Lower Canada. And the reason that the fields are shaped this way, you can look at it in historical documents. I'll throw one up right about now. There we go. That's pretty good. And then we're going to come over here, and this is part of our land as well. Yep. Okay, that looks pretty good. And we're going to sell the shop. Yep. Okay. Landscaping, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Yeah, so historically, I'll put up a visual of the thing right about now. And the reason that the fields are shaped the way they are is because when the original land grants were given in Lower Canada, or New France, by the King of France, they were divided up among the settlers so that everyone would have access to the river, the St. Lawrence River, because that was the primary source of transportation back in the 1600s. So that's how you end up with a long, narrow strip running back from the riverbank. There's often a road running right along the edge of the river to connect the parish together. And that carried on through to today. Historically, you know, the land boundaries, they've changed a little bit. And in some places, the shapes, like the newer subdivisions of land, have changed. But the old ones are still the way they are back from way back when. Okay, there we go. We are all grassed back in. Okay, I'm going to press pause on the video here, go make myself another coffee, and we're going to come back in a minute. Okay, and we're back. Welcome back. So the first thing that we're going to place here is our dairy barn. Now, this dairy barn here, I don't know if you've seen it before or not, but this is the dairy barn, the cow barn from the Caruvera map. And I picked this because it's about the right scale for what we want to do here. It does have, you can see on the left-hand side, it does have a pasture for our cows so they can get out and walk around. Comes with a manure heap. It's got a slurry output. It's got a milk output. And I just basically took this out of the Caruvera map and dropped it into this map, and away we go. So the thing to be aware about this barn is it does have bunker silos inside the tall part on the right-hand side. I haven't used them on the Caruvera map. I was just storing stuff in there. They were a really nice place to store bales, so we could use it for that. We could try using the bunker silo. We'll see. Now, the other thing to be aware of is this has a door on this end and a door on that end, and they run straight down the length of the building. And that is really, really handy if you're going to do a TMR setup, in that you can run your feed cart in one end, out the other. The cows are contained. There's walls on it so that in the wintertime they can come in. But you see behind the manure pit, that little gray bit, that's a plastic door. You see them in freezers. It's plastic slats, so the cows can come in and out as they want to. So we need to place this somewhere in here, and I still haven't taken precision farming off. So we're not going to change our fields just yet, but we do need to keep in mind that we want to have access to both ends of the building, and we want to keep, like, this is taking up a huge chunk of our real estate here. So as much as I would like to go down here, we can't go in there because that's going to pin in one of our doors. I think our best bet for this is to put it somewhere up, maybe up about right here. And then we'll work our way around it, because we are going to need a slurry pit, although not necessarily. If we have an underground slurry tank, then we're golden. Okay, so we'll hop back over here. And I just randomly pulled this over. I didn't do any testing on it. Doors open. Okay, that's good. And you see how you look right down. This is where our cows are. That opens up to get into the cow side of things. There's the plastic door to get out to the pasture itself. So that's where our cows come in and out. And our bunker silo showing up as a bunker silo. This might be broken. I wouldn't be surprised. We can try it. If it doesn't work, whatever, we'll just store bales in there. And just, for reference, you can store a winter's worth of bales and a small telehandler, and your TMR rig and your straw blower and all that. And that brings us down to $1.2 million. But the doors work. The trigger work. That trigger works. Okay. Let's put in a couple of cows. One. Start with 2 cows. And make sure that our cows work. We have cows. It took out our grass here, so we might be out of luck to run the grazing add-on, but I'm going to try painting in the because this looks like decal grass. So I'm going to try painting in pasture on there, and we're going to see what happens. We'll be back in a second. Okay, and we're back here, and we're putting our grass back in. Trying to be careful not to get it inside the building, because that's something I've done a couple of times, and I don't like how it looks, because it's a pain in the neck to fix it afterward. But what we're doing is we're putting meadow grass in this pasture here, because we have the enhanced animal system, realism add-on, animal grazing. The animal grazing add-on that goes along with the Maize Plus bundle. And what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to let us feed our cows out of the pasture here if we give them grass to eat, specifically meadow grass. It doesn't work with decal grass, which is what came with it. But we're going to see if this works. Like I say, I had it working with another barn that I tried down at the other end. I haven't tried it with this barn, and I honestly don't remember if I'm using it with where I was playing with Caravera. Now, in this here, we're going to throw in... Oh, okay. I guess I need to add that into the map. I'll fixie that later. We're going to drop a couple of brushes in here just to fill that out. And we're going to do the same thing along this fence here. There. Just to make it look like it's been there for a while. I'll have to figure out why I can't place this. I think I may need to actually adjust the map XML file. I didn't do that. I just grabbed the folder and brought it over. And we'll just finish this up here. All right, that's looking pretty good. And do we want to bring our grass down along here? I think we do. And bring the grass along here. When you've got the free landscaping, mod, you can do stuff. And let's throw a couple of these in around here. Because I mean, like, this is going to be a nitrogen-rich area, right? Maybe not that one. This is going to be a nitrogen-rich area, so there's going to be bushes and stuff growing up around the slurry pit, or the slurry outlet. There we go. That sort of looks good. And then we're going to paint in. We're going to start sketching in our access ways. So we're going to grab our small brush and come out sort of like this. And this is going to be subject to change later on. But this would be a gravel area here, and maybe I'm going to see if I can bring in some of the textures from Court Farms, because there's some... Oxton David did some great stuff on there. Yeah, let's do a little bit of animal mud down here under the pit, or under the slurry outlet. Bring back our gravel. Okay, out like this. Now we're going to want something a little bit where we come out this human door. And then this here, this is going to come out like this. And our milk tanker loads in this area here. Now, for milk tanker, I haven't decided yet what we're going to do about that. If we're going to get the automatic milk sale or if we're going to haul our own milk. We'll see. We could go into the milk hauling business. That would be an interesting thing to try. Because I do have... I've got this thing. Oh, and it's in French already too. I think we kind of have to have that. It's $95,000, but at some point we need to have this, and we need to make we need to figure out how we're going to do milk hauling. So if we're going to have that big thing around here, that means we need to Let's jump back into our build menu, construction menu here. That means we're going to need to leave this area kind of clear to swing that big trailer around. Yeah. Okay. And then our access for our slurry tank is going to be here. Okay. And then we might want to do something bale storage over here. All right. So what do we have in stock for our machine sheds? Because we are going to need one of those. I like these. Those are kind of nice. This is from the Emerald Coast pack. It'll work. It's a little bit short. What else do we got? That's kind of interesting. How do we change the color on this again? Is it N, M? Oh, that does go with our thing. This is from the Emerald Coast mod pack, and that's a lot of parking in there. Okay, that might be a thing. An older garage. Yeah. The good old utility shed. I've used this on Bloomfield. It looks pretty good. I believe this is from Missouri River Bottom. And there's a lot of room in that. And this is the Missouri River Bottom workshop, which I really like. I'm not sure if it's appropriate for here, but it does have a lot of storage space in it. So maybe down the road, if we want to get into that, we can tuck that right up there. And what else do we have? I thought we had some more that came with this. We've got our small finished farm buildings. Those could be useful. American Farm Buildings pack. I believe that's Lancy Boy. You know, that's okay too. Or that would be okay too, to just butt that right if it was a little bit shorter. There's a shorter version of that? The roofs don't match, but the siding matches. Okay, well, think about that, because that's an okay spot for this here. Because that would line up right along the edge of that fence, just dandy. It would be a little bit tight getting in and out with some of our stuff, but you know what? For $4,000, I say we go for it. I say we go for it. Yeah, we're clipping into our field just a little bit. Okay. Just give it one more look to see. Let's do that right here. Boof. Overlaps with another object. Okay, what if we leave that little alley down the back there? No, we need to pull it. We need to pull it right tight to the fence, or even clip over the fence. We're going to bring that right. Okay, because it is perfectly aligned with the fence. If we clip that right like that. Okay, that's all right. I can live with that. Oops, no I can't. Whoops. No, I can't live with that. Okay, so at least we got what we paid for it, and we can try this again. I'm trying to line it up right on the end here. And we're just going to drag it so it just disappears like that. Just disappears in there. And you can see that it's a little bit. I am being overly fussy about this. Okay, it's just barely almost poking through. And how did we do on this side? Oh yeah, that looks amazing. We've got a little human access point here if we want to model that, or we stick a... Yeah, okay. Our fence attaches to the corner of the building. That's cool. And then down here, what do? Hide it with landscaping. So then for this interior here, we're going to put a gravel floor. Yeah, you see what I mean about bringing plants in? Never looks right. Gravel, yeah, I kind of want this to be a little bit darker in here. Because this wouldn't be getting full sun. So we kind of want to... Yeah, let's bring our dirt texture in here. And unless it's brand new, we wouldn't be cleaning the gravel in it either. So let's just kind of dirty that up a little bit with the dirt texture. And we can always come back and fix it later. Okay, that's pretty good like that. So then we'll bring our gravel. Here's our gravel. Bring our gravel out along the front like this. Because we're going to want a pretty decent area to spin our machines in here. And I think we're going to want to just bring that right out to the edge of the field. Just like this. Okay. And then we can connect up this up like here. Connect that over like that there. Okay, and we're going to want to make a little bit of room to go by if we decide to put the milk tanker there and park it there. Okay. Now, let's see. Do we have room for a slurry tank here? I'm going to have to move me. And I don't really like that slurry tank either. What do we have? We've got some stuff in the pumps and hoses. We've got a liquid manure tank. Let's see what we got in a silo extension. I'm not sure about this. And I forget if I kind of want to run the manure system mod on this. That's sort of out of scale. Slurry extension for liquid manure holds 50,000 liters. And we can just plank that right in here, and we don't have a big tank to worry about. Or we have this small underground tank here. But I think I like this here. Needs to be placed next to a barn or a liquid manure tank. Those are a couple of our initial options. Yeah, I thought I had the BGA extension installed. I guess I didn't. Let me just double check back here. Because I seem to remember there was a small one. Oh no. Okay. Well, you know what? We roll with what we got. Right? Because we do have capacity for slurry already built in, and until we hit that, then we'll deal with that then. Now, I wonder, have our cows done anything here for food? It hasn't clicked, but time has stopped, so we're just going to let that sit for now, and we'll come back and we'll revisit that later. Okay, so we've got a cow barn. And we've got the beginnings of machine shed here. Might have to cut this grass out a little bit more in this corner, but so far so good. Yeah, and those play rather nicely together. We're going to need a house. Let's see what we got for farmhouses. I mean, if we're going with the theme, right? Different variations on the same thing. What's this? The American Farm Building. There's the rich house. That's not bad looking, actually. This is kind of cool, too. Also goes with the theme. That's a rather large modern house, and rather expensive, actually. There's all the base game stuff. You know, you can do the bus. And there's some of the premium stuff. An old brick jobby. I mean, that's... You would expect to see that, right? You would expect to see brick with the arched windows. So that would work. What's this? Old concrete blockhouse. I actually knew somebody. Well, I didn't know them. I visited them once with a friend up in rural Quebec that lived in one of those. You know, and if we're doing current day, then you can get away with a lot because there's a lot of architecture out there. You know, you live in a tiny house. No, I don't think so. That's the one I think I'm using on Green Mountain. All right. I like this. I like that style of roof, actually. That reminds me a lot of Northern Ontario, and it looks like it's been renovated along the way. So let's do that. Can we change color? Get that into a sort of a red. Yeah, because that's almost the house that was across the road from me when I was a kid. So let's do that. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but that's all right. Now, the question is, do we want to keep it on our land over here? Or do we want to tuck it over in where the other house was and truck across the highway? Because I'm okay with either. Okay, if we go here... Yeah, actually, and typically, as I remember, the entrance to the house across the road from me was on the back of it. So we're a little bit too close to the road there. Huh, it doesn't like this placement at all. Not at all. Okay, so we'll save that. We'll save this spot for something else. We'll stick our workshop in there. So what we'll do is we'll bring our farmhouse all the way down to here, which is going to be on the edge of our property. Yeah. Oh, there's we have a door there. So that's the front door and that's the side door. Okay, so then if we want to, I wish we could see property lines, but I'm going to guess that we're right about, I'm going to guess that our property is right about here. And we're going to bring this a little bit closer to the road. Right there. Okay, and that's going to give us a little bit of room for expansion. Painting, and we're going to cut in a little bit of gravel in the front of it because we're going to have a little path coming out of there. And our entrance is going to be here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's the farmhouse, and how that ties in with the rest of it, we'll sketch that in. The next thing that we need is a workshop. And I had one that... Oh, that's cool, but it's huge. Farm Garage Workshop Red, that's the American ones. That's not what I want to do. I had one that I was looking at. Oh, there it is. The 40 by 60 Quonset shop. It works well. That's the old one. That's the new one. Fine, whatever. But we're going to place that over in here. This is going to be our workshop storage yard area. So something like this, I guess. Yeah, we're going to go parallel with that field and shove it back as far as we can into the trees. There. And we're going to just sketch our gravel out here. This is going to be our road access. Like that. Okay, and we can... this is open here. Okay, and what else do we have for sheds? Concrete block, that wouldn't be far out of character. Again, these here... I mean, the old barn... It's not a local style barn, but Oh, we got red this time. A red temporary shelter. I do want a kind of a covered lockable storage like that, but maybe smaller. As we cycle through here, that's pretty tiny. But at the same time, that's a little bit bigger, and that's kind of like you could throw a couple of things in there. Oh, that's actually a really nice building from... I think it's from Sariola, actually, if I remember correctly. These are pretty nice halls, and I kind of want to... Okay, we're going to sit on that for a bit. Is that a through hall? No, it's... Oh, okay, that's got the workshop built into it. That's not the one I want. Small garage. That's got the door on the wrong end. But that one is better. Okay. If we jam that into the trees there, will that help? I don't know. Oh, actually, I think this is the one here. Okay, that's the workshop version of it. I don't need that. I've already got a workshop there. This is good for storing smaller stuff. So we're just going to drop that right in. Drop this right in over here. Wiggle, 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 wiggle back in towards the trees. Okay. And we're going to paint in some more gravel. Just kind of like this. And we will come back and detail all this out. I think we're going to take our gravel pretty much back like that. And bring that gravel up like this. Yeah, like that. Round that corner off. Okay. Okay, so then that means we can, and that'll give us room if we want to do course play or auto drive to swing around in there. We're going to grab a container and we're going to throw a couple of fuel tanks in here beside the shop. A Meridian fuel tank. I should have enabled snapping for all of this so everything would line up nicely, but we didn't. Oh, and that actually goes this way. This way? This way. Let's... No, that's overkill. That's not what we're looking for. That's too big. Do I only have... Ah, there we go. That's the one. That looks pretty typical. There we go. Okay, so we got a fuel tank. Still no movement on the cows. Okay, I'm going to drop into, we're going to do that, and we're going to let time advance by an hour, and we're going to see what happens. And in the meantime, while we're thinking about it, we're going to put in tools. We're going to throw in our power washer. Over here by the service barn. Something like that. Okay, this is starting to come together. Yeah, the other thing that I want over here is we want a couple of greenhouses. Production greenhouses. I'm not going to do the multi-crop ones. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to go with the garden plot. That's with gravel. That's with grass. Yeah, I'm gonna put our garden plot right about like. Put our garden right about here, and this is just going to be our play garden. And if we want to do it like that, then our pallet spawn is going to be on the front. Okay, and because we're in Quebec, we've got the maple syrup production. And do we have a spot that we can put this? Probably not on the main farm, but you know what? I think if we pick up one of these plots over here, like if we were to grab this bit of forest right here, let's have a look. Oh, okay. So apparently, course play carries fields over from one map to the next, because that's when I drew up on another save. So farmlands, we have all of this back up into here, and I think we're going to pick up this part here, 62, for $9,000. Yeah. It would behoove us to do so. Because that way, we can just come off of here and that's right up in this corner here. That's the corner of our cornfield. Or, sorry, no, this is the corner of our cornfield. And if we do want to do maple syrup, where'd our maple syrup go? All the way. Oh, it's production greenhouses. Right. Actually, grape and olive orchard. No, we're not doing olives. I thought we had a tree plantation. Anyway, so we need about this much room for it. Okay, we could conceivably do this. We'd have to come in and take out some trees. But that's not the end of the world. And I think this would look good just tucked right in here. Okay, this is going to be a project for another day, but it is going to happen because I like that idea. Either that or we nuke the edge of our cornfield. One of the two. Actually, that might be an okay idea. Okay, so if we're going to do that, then I would have to take off precision farming for a little bit. And just for funsies, can we plant more trees? Okay. So we can throw can throw birch in there. All right. And some spruce. That's not a poplar tree, but whatever. And stone pine. That doesn't look like a pine tree. Okay, we'll figure out the trees later. But there are birch trees in Quebec, that's for sure. Medium birch, large birch. What does that look like? That looks like that. I know there are oak trees there. So yeah, we can come in and kind of put that in there. Okay. So let's just go back to our house and recap what we've done here. We've got our farmhouse in. We've got a little market garden here. We've got cows. And I'm just going to fast forward time to the turn of the hour to see what happens here. Oh, we're going to have to do some landscaping because that's a pretty big bump right there. Okay, that's all right. We can fixie that. This here is easy to get into. And this here has a concrete ramp. Weird that there's no concrete ramp at the other side. Okay, so we have 6,300 liters of food. So the grazing add-on is working, right? Grazing add-on's working, so we can leave the cows alone for a little bit. This will look after itself. We're going to need to get some straw in. We're going to need to set up our slurry removal. And we're going to have to do a little bit more cow work. We're going to need a manure removal system. But I have an idea for all of that. So we're going to call this one here. I think we're in a good spot. We've got some basic infrastructure set up. Things are looking more or less like we could start farming. We've got a little bit more work to do here. But let's call this right here. We've been playing around with this for a while. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching this. We did pick up a couple more subscribers. Welcome to the new subscribers. If you like what we're doing, leave us a comment, give us a like, ring the bell, do all that cool YouTube stuff. It does help to grow the channel. I like what I'm doing. I hope you like what we're doing. Drop in and see us again sometime. And watch out for the next episode. That's going to be Bloomfield. Should be going up later this week. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves, y'all.